Welcome to the Potter Blog site, May 23rd, 2013. In breaking news, the Centers for Disease Control has just announced in a federal solicitation that they are planning for a large-scale national H7N9 Influenza Vaccination program. And as part of that, they're considering using adjuvants that have been known to cause narcolepsy. This is the biz ops right here, the solicitation. What they're doing here in this particular one is they're examining the narcolepsy that was associated with the H1N1 vaccines in Europe. The CDC has never allowed adjuvants to be used in either the seasonal flu vaccine or pandemic flu vaccines. Now, if you've been watching our website and what we've been reporting, as seen in our previous reports, let me zoom in on this just a little bit, you already know the following. And never before has the CDC allowed the use of adjuvants in either the seasonal or pandemic flu vaccines, and they have tied its use to narcolepsy. You'll also know that they're ordering 512 million syringes, roughly enough for 2 shots for every man, woman, and child in the country. 3, a nearly $1 billion cost-plus solicitation has been released for the purposes of emergency experimentation with H7N9 flu vaccines and emergency experimental antiviral treatments. What cost-plus means is these contractors are guaranteed to make a profit no matter how much money they spend on this potential $1 billion contract. They've also changed the reporting rules for adverse conditions related to these things. 4, you should prepare for forced vaccinations. And 5, the really only inexpensive risk mitigation measure you can take against the H7N9 bird flu is to buy chlorhexidine gluconate. It's a surgical scrub which forms an invisible barrier on the skin and kills influenza virus and coronaviruses for multiple hours after washing with it. Now, why H7N9? Why are they so concentrated on this? And why is the government taking these crazy expensive emergency measures? 2 reasons. One is that the H7N9 bird flu is nearly 100% fatal untreated. And that means advanced life support systems. And there's only a very few advanced life support systems in the country. The other thing about the H7N9 bird flu is the birds do not get sick with it, so you can't tell which birds have it. And then the third thing, which people don't know about it, is it's a hemorrhagic flu. If you look at the earliest reports coming out of China in PubMed and the Lancet, it's very, very clearly stated that in medical terminology that as the disease progresses, it is a hemorrhagic disease, somewhat akin to Ebola, the way you bleed out. But we go into more detail in other parts of the video. But here's the thing to consider about why they're really going crazy over this. And that is, if back in April somebody had released 2 infected H7N9 pigeons in New York City and in Los Angeles, there literally would be thousands of dead people now. Especially in the urban areas, because pigeons flock, they poop all over the place, they're unsanitary, and then you put people together in tight situations with pigeons like that, and even without human-to-human spread, you have a potential for thousands of people being killed by this virus. That's why we push CHG, chlorhexidine gluconate, also known as Hibiclens. We have links to it on our webpage from Amazon. Best place to buy it. Don't expect this to be available long, especially as next flu season starts. You'll want to buy it in either the spring or fall because the product is heat sensitive. You can't store it for long periods over 104 degrees or it breaks down. So if you're ordering it in the middle of summer for a summer outbreak, you're taking some risk unless you overnight it from the facility that's selling it to you. Good luck.